Hi folks, how you doing? Russell, TrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box, Mind, Body, Spirit, Fitness. Putting the healing back in health. Once again, don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. Links in the description box as well. Coming at you today with a video on trying to imitate race day, right? Game day. Preparing yourself for game day. What can you do? I had a buddy ask me this question a while back. It was a long time ago, and I don't know why it never clicked in my mind to create a video on it. Maybe I wasn't even making YouTube videos back then. At that time, he did a lot of motocross. Right now, he's not. He's doing a lot of working with his brother, trying to build their little empire. You know, more power to him. But you will never be able to imitate race day, right? There's only a few different ways you can imitate race day. And you're not going to like it because it's going to be painful as heck, right? The only way, and I'm starting to figure this out as I do my Ironman training, right? The only way to prepare for race day is you have to, as in Ironman training right now, you need to go farther, right? You need to train in longer distances. You need to train in a higher heart rate. You need to train in a higher lactic acid threshold, right? That's what you need to be training at. For him, it would be motocross. His problem was he's like, I can't get my heart rate up as fast as it does during race day. And sometimes you might not be able to, and that's what I'll discuss next. But for him, I would say maybe you would just need to contemplate, which is part of it. You're going to need to work more on racing longer. How long is the race? You would have to be able to prevent fatigue. You're never going to really be able to you're never going to be able to mimic your heart rate. Don't let that be your main focus. The heart rate doesn't matter, right? So the only way you can prepare, like an Ironman, right? Like I'm only doing the half Ironman, right? The half Ironman is only a 56-mile bike ride. But you've got to understand, you're still going to have to run after that. You're going to be swimming before that. So in reality, the only way to ensure success on race day, I should be going at least 70 to 80-mile bike rides on my own. Minimum. You don't just want to hit it, right? Because you never know what's going to happen out there. I could wreck. I could get stuck behind people. So I want to make sure that I'm overreaching on the distances, right? The reason why you'll never be able to truly mimic it, right, is because you'll, like with him, with the heart rate, it's like, well, dude, when it comes into play, you're going to be trained. I don't know how he was training. You know, I don't know if he was bike riding, whatever the case may be, but you're never going to be able to mimic frustration. You're never going to be able to mimic getting lapped by someone. You're never going to be able to mimic the frustration of knowing that you are fatigued, right? The only way you can overcome that is by training more in a higher intensity. But you're never going to be able to mimic the emotions of our human self, right? Of the human being. And not being able to control emotions. See, now you can practice on controlling frustration. And in controlling frustration, your heart rate's not going to be as high. You're going to be bringing your heart rate down because you're in control of your body, right? With the breathing and all those types of things. So now you can control your emotion and your frustration, which is going to help because all that is creating more stress on the body, more wear and tear, even though you might not think so, right? Same thing I've heard doing running. People run and they're just, and if you're just totally tight, you're not loose and relaxed, you're burning more calories, you're wasting energy. So learning to become fluid when you're riding the bike, right? When you're running, when you're doing these things. Not be tense. When I did a big mountain run with my boss the other week, my biceps were so freaking sore the next day. And that's because I was running. I had my hands loose, but my biceps were just cinched up, right? So imagine it was an hour and a half run, and for an hour and a half, I was doing an isometric contraction, right? For an hour and a half, I was doing an isometric contraction. So for an hour and a half straight, it was like I was flexing my biceps. Yeah, you're going to be sore if you're just flex for an hour and a half while running, you know. So the only way you could truly do it then, like I said, is understanding your emotions, not getting frustrated on the court, on the rink, on the wherever, on the track, controlling that. And then, of course, I would say giving yourself that quiet and meditation time before. Visualization, right? Visualize what happens if someone passes you. You're calm, cool, and collected. Visualize the course. That's why even on race day, they always say you want to, for Ironman, you want to drive the course. See where you're running, what's going on. And I think a good example of this is when my lady and I, we went to Texas for her grandma's 102nd birthday, right? And in doing so, I told her, let's go. We did a couple runs when we were there. We did a 5 mile and a 6 mile run. And I was like, all right, we're going to run down. There's this street. It's called this, whatever. And we're going to come back. And day one, that run, she was just frustrated. She was angry. The next day we went, it was fine. I ran a little faster, so I would run up and come back and run up and come back and join her and chat with her, make sure she's doing all right. And then I'd keep running. And she was really frustrated on day one. Day two, she was fine. And she goes, you know what? I think it was different today because I knew where we were running. Before that, it was like we were just running into the abyss. Where's the end? When am I going to get to turn around? And when you know you're underperforming and you don't know where that finish line is, and you already know you feel like you're underperforming and you don't know where the finish line is, it's only going to get worse. But when you know where the finish line is, how many laps are left to go, what the time is on the clock, you have that time to maybe step your pace up, maybe get your mental game back on track, stay focused and get going. So those are the only ways you can kind of mimic race day. And we'll go at them again. One, right? You have to train for more, right? You've got to understand, if Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, who it is, if they know they're taking 50 shots a game, right? You're taking 50 shots a game, and you've only ever trained to take 50 shots, what do you think is going to happen during the game? You're going to fade away, right? So you need to overtrain. They're taking 1,000 shots a day, right? Because 50 is never going to phase them. If I'm taking 1,000 shots a day, 50 is never going to phase me. If you're only training 50, they're out there warming up 2 hours before the game, taking another 100 shots even before the game even starts, right? So one, you've got to train a little bit past what race day is, so you know, right? You got to train past fatigue. If you're only training to 56 miles and you're fatigued at 56 miles, no, you need to train till you're fatigued at 80 miles, so when 56 comes, you're still feeling fresh, right? Next, I don't even remember what it was. Those are the main ones, right? You're never going to be able to control your heart rate. Don't ever go off of heart rate. I just did two Spartan races yesterday, this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Did the 8 to 10 mile, they're super, and they're 3 to 5, the sprint. And my client had his watch on, and he's letting that crap get to him. What's your heart rate at? He's older than me by 10 years. He's my client, my good buddy. We go to church together. But he's like, what's your heart rate at? Mine's saying 180. Is that okay? And I was like, dude, mine says 170. You're not even breathing hard, dude. You're not even breathing hard. We're not breathing hard. We've been doing a light jog. It's not even like running on a treadmill. You're able to talk to me. Don't worry about it. Dude, we just climbed a rope. We just climbed a wall. We just barbed wire crawled through mud, Don't worry about it. Your heart rate's up because you're moving. We're not breathing hard. Things are fine. Don't let that get into your mind like, my heart rate's so high. That's the next thing. You're fooling yourself. Don't let that. Be able to control your emotions will bring the heart rate down. Control your emotions, heart rate comes down. That's a good thing. And then visualization before the game. There's those three things. Overtrain the distance or the time, right? Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Control your emotions. You'll be able to control your heart rate and your breathing. Last but not least, visualization, pre-game visualization. All these things are going to help you. All right? So once again, I hope this helps. Don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there as well. Subscribe to this channel. Share and like these videos.